Ella, hi sweetie, can I have my chair? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I feel like an absolute villain for taking the seat where Nora was sitting, where Bella was sitting. Nora was taking a nap over there. It really was an adaptation over here. But hi, I'm Lena. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another round of TBR Board. Today we are deciding my May TBR and I'm very excited because I have some plans and I'm going to fuse them into the TBR and I'm sure we're going to have a great time. Before we start, I have two book club reads. Our Hobbits book club for April and May is The Lonely Castle in the Mirror. This, I believe, is a magical YA and I'm really looking forward to it. This will be Mary's pick and ever since she picked it for us I've been looking at it and I'm so incredibly curious to read it. The book for feminism she wrote also for April and May, yes, for April and May, is The Vindications of the Right of Woman by Mary Wollstonecraft. I saved this one for May because I didn't think I could handle reading this together with War and Peace. I believe it is quite a challenging read. I did also find an audiobook for it that will help me read along, I hope. So these are two books that I would like to put on the TBR. I'm also reading the shortlist of the Women's Prize, so any book from that shortlist I can fit on here would be awesome, but I have all the time in the world to do that, so I can also read some of those books in June. There's absolutely no rush because I'm just doing that because it's really fun to me. I would like to have finished that before they announce the winners so that I can make a prediction, but I don't think they will do that until the end of June, so I have more than enough time. Okay, so let's do the first roll. It's a 2, 1, 2, which means an extra roll. Okay, right, so the actual first roll is 3, 1, 2, 3, which is a contemporary. TBR card is Women in Translation. The first roll was a genre tale with the silver lining and we had contemporary with this TBR card, which is Women in Translation, which is because of the Women in Translation month in August. It's not August, of course, but very luckily our Hobbits book club pick fits for this because this is written by a woman and it is translated, I think, from the Japanese. It says, in a neighborhood in Tokyo, 7 young people wake up to find their bedroom mirrors shining. Placing their palms on the surface, they are pulled through into a wondrous castle where they encounter not only each other but also their taskmaster, a bossy young girl in a mask named Wolf Queen. This sounds so exciting. I don't think it necessarily hits the tropes for me because I don't really like trial and games in fantasy. I know that's a big thing for people, but I'm expecting great things from the vibe. Right, roll number 2. So 3, 1, 2, 3 is a historical fiction. Roll number 2 was historical fiction and I'm going to buddy read this with Petra, and that is The Secrets of Heartwood Hall by Katie Lumsden. This is of course written by Katie from Books and Things. I pre-ordered it and I think it came a few weeks ago. It just came out. So Petra and I from Petra You decided to buddy read it and we want to do that in the first week of May. So yeah, this one is going on the TBR and I will of course let you know my thoughts as soon as I have read it. This is about Margaret Lennox, who is a young widow and she is offered a position at Heartwood Hall. She quickly accepts, hoping that this isolated country house will allow her to leave her past behind. I've heard people describe it as Bronte vibes, but with a little bit of Downton Abbey, which sounds absolutely perfect, so I cannot wait. Roll number 3. In 3, 1, 2, a 3 is a TBR card. Book with same cover color as your favorite read of last month. Roll number 3 was a TBR card and that one is so specific, I love it. Book with same cover color as your favorite read of last month. So my favorite read of last month was Homegoing. So we're looking for anything orange and yellow, and that is mainly orange and yellow. So of course I looked at the short list of the Women's Prize and there's one book that has as major colors orange and yellow, and that is Fire Rush by Jacqueline Crooks. I'm not very sure what this is about. I've heard of course people talk about it. I think it is about a young woman who is a musician and I think it's set in the late 20th century. That is all I want to know because I just want to be as open-minded as possible when I'm going to read these books, because I did that as well when I did the Goodreads prize and it was really nice to just go in with no expectations and really give my honest thoughts while reading. I'm going to do that with the Women's Prize books. I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you the synopsis of the books, but I will leave a link to the website of the Women's Prize so you can read a little bit about those books if you would like to. And of course there will be a vlog in a good set of weeks. So that is rule number 3. Right, rule number 4 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is from my top 20 classics list. Right, rule number 4 is top 20 classics list, and I feel like I'm getting this every time I play this game now. So yeah, that will not be something I can fit in for the women's prize, of course. I always need to scroll down to the video I made. Instead of just writing down the list, I need to watch the video over and over again. Okay, here we go. Let's do the random number generator. Okay, between 1 and 20. We got number 13, so let's see what number 13 is. The book that has been on my TBR for a little bit is The Street by Anne Purty. This is that I'm actually currently reading that, and I'm not going to finish it before the month is out. It's kind of still on my TBR when we go into the new month. So let's just put it on the TBR again. I feel like this book has been on my TBR so often. It's a little bit embarrassing, and let's see. I am 12 pages into this book, so I'm definitely not going to finish it before the month is out. So I'm just going to re-put this one on the TBR, then probably the second half of this book. Rule number 5 is a 3. 1, 2, 3, which is Pet Pig. So rule number 5 was Pet Pig, and I did that before I started filming because I knew it would be messy and the cats are sleeping now, so I'm glad that I did. So I had a few options for Pet Pig. Thought it would be fun to read something different than novels because I've been reading only novels, I think, this year. A little bit of non-fiction as well, but I found it would be time to read another play. So I made that pick from Macbeth by William Shakespeare. I'm reading this collection very slowly, which are plays by Oscar Wilde. And my next play is, let's see, An Ideal Husband. And then I have plays by Anton Chekhov, and that would be The Seagull, I think, my next one. I've read The Cherry Orchard and I really want to read The Seagull. Oké, jongens, niet tegelijkertijd allemaal. Nee! Die kant op. Jongens! This isn't working. The first one to be eaten. Okay, the first one that is finished is this one. It's Jekyll. So out of those 3, the cats picked well, they picked everything because they were hungry apparently, but the first treat that was fully eaten was the treat that was on Chekhov's play. So I'm going to read The Seagull, which I think is quite a dark play. I've seen some things on YouTube of people reenacting that play, and I do think it's a lot about mental health. The Cherry Orchard was it was dramatic but uplifting at points. I believe that The Seagull is much darker, but I'll let you know when I read it. We're on number 6. It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is historical fiction, and it's the second time we landed on that, so we have to add another one. Rule number 6 was historical fiction, which means that we have now landed twice on historical fiction, so I need to add an extra rule. But the historical fiction that I'm going for is one that is on the shortlist of the Women's Prize, and that is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I somehow have never gotten around to reading Hamnet, which I do really want to read, so maybe I will read that right after The Marriage Portrait if I enjoy it. I think this is set in 15th, 16th century, something like that. And it's about a woman I think she's a young girl who is married to this older man, and she notices that all he really wants from her is to produce heirs. That is what I've heard from people. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, but it really sounds like my cup of tea. It kind of sounds like Romola by George Eliot, but with modern writing, and I did really enjoy the setting of that book. So I have quite high expectations for this one. Roll number 7 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. TBR card. And this TBR card is a boyfriend pick, which is now a husband pick. Okay, I have these 3 books. This is just one play of the collection.
The Importance of Being Earnest, Macbeth, The Prophet.
I think that is poetry, but I will not influence your decision.
You shut up.
Oh, okay.
This is really small. So.
They're all small.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm just going to read 1 out of 5 plays from that collection.
Ah, okay. Okay. This one.
Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know. Like the picture.
So rule number 7 was boyfriend pick. And I made boy pick from the books that the cat picks as well. But I added some poetry. So I also added, I don't know if this is poetry or a novel in verse, but that is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And then I also asked him to pick an Oscar Wilde play or Shakespeare. Boy picked for me Shakespeare, which I am actually really happy about because I am in the mood for Shakespeare. Macbeth is one that I haven't read yet. We will probably do another 24-hour readathon this month. And then I think I will save these 2 plays for the 24-hour readathon because I just love reading a play in one sitting. It's kind of the experience of a play, of course. It's how, you know, watching it or reading it in one sitting is the intention in which it was written. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Right, and the final rule, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, is historical fiction but with a silver lining, so I guess that doesn't count. Or does it? I didn't think about that beforehand. Well, alright. With the TBR card, it is a magical or fantasy element. Right, rule number 8, and luckily the last rule was a genre tile with a silver lining. I'm only doing the double rolls if they are just like genre tiles, the exact same tile, if that makes sense. So rule number 8 was a historical fiction with a magical or fantasy element. I really wanted to add another book for the Women's Prize on here, so I hope that I interpreted this right. And that is Spot by Lenine Paul, which is about a dolphin who lives in the ocean. I think the dolphin at some point discovers that she is hurting her pot, so she leaves. This is definitely fantasy, a magical element, because we follow the perspective of a dolphin. But in the description it says that it's really interwoven with myth, so that is where I think it may be historical, but I'm not entirely sure. I am going to pick this one for this prompt because I cannot find another book on the list that kind of matches the description. There's a lot of historical fiction. As far as I know, none of them have a magical element, and Pot has such a clear fantasy element. I really wanted to read Wandering Souls, which is both historical and magical realism. I would have really enjoyed, and I'm kind of surprised that one isn't on the short list. But okay, so I'm going to read Pot, which I'm incredibly apprehensive about. The other 3 books that are on the short list, let's see, that I didn't get to fit on this TBR, is Damon Copperhead, which I'm really excited for as well. I've not read David Copperfield, don't think I will, but I've heard amazing things about this book. Trespasses, which I don't really want to read. It has some descriptions of things that I just feel like I won't like, but I do like Dairy Girls and it's the same setting, so that might be helpful. And Black Butterflies, which I heard some mixed reviews about from people, so I wasn't super excited to read that, but it's happening. I wasn't able to fit the vindications on this one. So this is my TBR, but the physical ones I have because I also of course have the Marriage Portrait, Fire Rush and Pot, for which I have mostly audiobooks. I think Fire Rush also has an ebook, so maybe I'll read the ebook for that one. These were on my own TBR. If you want to join any book clubs, everything is in the description down below. Let me know what your reading plans are in May. Do you have any exciting or unrealistic plans? I would love to know. For now, I hope that you have a lovely day or evening, and I hope to see you in another video. Doei!